Hey there guys, I wanted to do a video today on the getMember commandlet because getMember is tremendously helpful for establishing more detailed information about the PowerShell commandlets that you might work with. It is used for getting methods and for getting properties, and I'm going to be working with getService. It's not the most exciting commandlet in the world, but I think for a lot of people who are new to PowerShell, this is a really good way to kind of illustrate some examples, show you how you might do that. So let me take you through. Now the getService commandlet, as you would expect, returns a list of services running on your local machine. So out of the box, we've got these three columns of data: the status, whether or not the service is running or not, the service name, and the friendly service name. But what I'm going to do is, if I type in getService and pipe that through to getMember, what's really interesting is it will give me a list of all the methods that allow me to work with this particular commandlet, and indeed all the properties as well. So you can already see that I've got things like the display name of the service, the start type, whether that's a manual or automatically started service. We just saw that we have things like the status, is it running or not? Can I shut down the service? Can I stop the service? So what I'm going to do for my next sort of step on this is I'm going to remove this as a variable and just show you this particular stage. I'm going to look at the XboxNet API service and just return that. We'll talk about where objects at a future video. But as you can see, I've got this service and I've got it is currently showing as stopped. Now let's have a look at some of the interesting things we can do. First of all, if I put this into a variable called service, as you guys will know from watching other videos I've done, I really like working with variables and the properties that hang off of this. If I do a format table and include all properties, look at that. There's actually all of these other properties that I get if I explicitly ask to have all properties. That's what the star represents. I got the dependent services. It's telling me if I can stop it or not, can shut it down, what the services depend on, the startup type. So all sorts of interesting information. Another thing I can do is if I go back into my service and press dot, I get this nice little GUI window that gives me all of the properties and all of the methods here that we can effectively see there. So for example, status. I can see that the service is currently stopped. Well, let's see if it's possible for me to start it using a method built into the objects. So if I start looking at methods, the sort of pinky purple box, and I see that there is a start method. So if I click on that and run it, I will refresh this commandlet, and now the service is running. And just to prove that, you know, this is definitely something that I'm doing, get that there. Let me do stop, and now it's stopped. So that really is how simple it is to work with some of the methods and properties that you get with any of the commandlets. It's incredibly powerful. Make sure that you are, if you ever have any sort of curiosity or questions about a commandlet you're working with, like I say, whatever it is, get process for example, pipe it to getMember, and you will get a full breakdown of what properties and methods go into this. Try get ACL. There really is so much going on under the hood the get member really helps you get to that information and figure out what that stuff is. So I hope that's been helpful, and let me know if you got any questions about the get member.